Hello, autumn day, everyone, for the great fall of 2025 is upon us. And I want to give thanks to the Most High God, our heavenly creator of this universe, for all the marvelous things that he or she is doing for us at this appointed time. How he is changing things so much in real time that we can readily see. I also want to give my thanks and praise for the peace that I do get to experience for the greater part of the day just before my neighbors are to come home. There is a real reason that I am in the position that I'm in right now, and that is really to rest. And we are resting as a people. Sometimes losing your job or losing this or losing that can actually turn out to be a blessing in and of itself. And I'm also strengthened by the spirit of destiny and the spirit of change that is upon myself, upon my family, upon the people to which I belong to, upon this nation, and upon the whole earth. And again, we can see the outworking of that. It is being manifest before us. So I give praise for that too. And though temporarily I am not materially abundant, I am spiritually satisfied. And I think the abundance continues to come in regards to revelation, and just really seeing that work itself out is really, really amazing. I can't describe the feeling. So I want to talk a little bit about New Jerusalem. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. And I hope that you would spread this around, because I think in the times that we are in, that the descendant of American slaves, it will really give them some encouragement and some insight into what is going on as a people, and that we are being prepped in order to have our final and last migration, and that is to the promised land. So, just to give you some thoughts on Christ's kingdom administration, and Christ is basically another word for anointed, Christ, and so the anointed ones that will be governing over or presiding over New Jerusalem. And the ultimate purpose of that is to give to us what our forefathers and foremothers lost so many thousands of years ago, which is perfection in mind, body, and spirit, and a perfected connection between us and the heavenly realm. We are imperfect human beings, and we are on the lowest rung of that imperfection. We can fall no lower. We die very, very quickly, and what is understood is that the human body has been cycling down in its lifespan. That there are individuals who lived not only for 100 years, but for half a millennia, sometimes many thousand years, and that the earth in and of itself is very, very old, and many human beings, male and female, or female and male, lived for great expanses of time. And this is because those beings were made perfectly. But something, of course, happened. We were given the story of Adam and Eve. It remains to be seen if that was allegory, if that was a real story. But nonetheless, something happened cataclysmic that involved the demons and involved the great Satan to cause us to lose our connectedness of perfection with our heavenly creator. Now, the reason why we're going to be brought back is because we were born into sin. We were born into that loss. So we have not been able to stand on our own before our heavenly mother to say, okay, we are perfect. We have served you. We deserve da 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 da. No, we are in no condition to do that. And so Christ's kingdom administration is going to be there to bring us back from that which we lost, or bring us to for that which we lost, which is perfection in mind, body, and spirit, and long life, very long life. And then in turn, once the nation of New Jerusalem has been brought to perfection, then we'll be able to extend what we have gone through in our personal experiences in the healing process. We'll be able to extend it to the rest of the earth. Now, this is a speculation of mine, is that in turn, we will probably, as a planet, be able to extend that to whatever other planets that are out there that have been dealt a mighty blow from the war that happened in heaven between Satan, his demons, and God. Okay, so there's probably a greater manifold that is to be realized beyond what we are in transition to experience. So if I just may speculate and dream for a little bit in real time, is that there are certain individuals that are going to be instrumental in the Lord's great army. Both it's going to be quite possibly, allegedly, angel orchestrated and human dominated. And so once that is taken care of, we have the people back. I imagine that the crisis kingdom is going to mirror what is in the heavenly. So we have in the Bible where it speaks of 144,000. These individuals would have gone down in death. They would have gone down horrifically because Satan was made aware of who they were. And then if they stayed the course and took their death in the same manner that Jesus Christ, the King of Lords is what he's referred to now, did. If they accepted that and did not shrink back from it, then they would receive a heavenly crown. Why is that? Because they would be again part of that government of Christ's kingdom in the invisible, assisting those who will be visible. So then there's what's called an earthly class of human beings. I don't know how many, but I can speculate that there's possibly the same equal number of 144,000, and quite possibly each individual of that governing body would be able to connect with the invisible 144,000 heavenly class. In other words, the human part on planet Earth are the representatives of the heavenly part. And similar to what you see today in a government, there are different positions that each one holds. We have in America, we have a president, we have his cabinet, we have Congress or the Senate, and each one of these holds a particular department or a portion of government that they are pretty much in charge of administrating the necessary goods and services to the people of the United States. Now, if it were working perfectly, every man, woman, and child would have more than enough to compensate for their living and their continued lifespan and the enjoyment thereof. But because it's an imperfect government and it is ran by the invisible, which is demonic entities, we have the mess that's going on now. In Christ's kingdom, it's going to be the reverse. So these individuals, again, being able to communicate with the unseen, will be empowered to deliver the necessary medicine to recoup what was lost. And that is perfect harmony in the planet, the universe, and with our Heavenly Mother. So get down to the nitty gritty. You're probably going to have a small segment of individuals that are going to be the basic final authority, and they will probably mirror that heavenly class part as well. That's working probably directly either with Jesus Christ or with God. And then you'll probably have a cabinet of people, and then you'll probably have something similar to a Senate and a House of Representatives. And then these will boil down into segments of, again, governors and mayors, all the way down to you get down to just a one-on-one individual that is working with the public of New Jerusalem. So what would be the difference between the general population of New Jerusalem or Hebrews and Hebrew Israelites versus Christ's kingdom administration is that those people are probably going to be made perfect almost instantly. Again, this is speculation, but they're going to be operating from a perfect stance, which means the dying process would have been eliminated from them. And all of them will know which part they play and what medicine they will need to administer to the masses, our Hebrew family. There'll be no mental, moral, physical, spiritual, etc. malady that they will not be able to address, prescribe the necessary needed medicine in all its different forms and remedies, and all the care and time that each individual in New Jerusalem will need, so that they have not every advantage, but an abundance of advantage to turn around from their bad ways and begin to walk into the line of perfection, which I have been told is going to be gradual for the general population. Now, do I know how long this will take? Absolutely not. I don't know that right now. I can speculate, but I don't know. But I'm sure that we will be given that information, and we can be assured that the creator of the universe is going to speed it up for us, for our healing, because we will have the whole world to get to. Now, many of our sisters and brothers who have gone down in the grave will be brought back in resurrection, not all at once. This is probably going to be a process depending on the families, because we don't want them coming back to drama. Of course, there's going to be some recouping. There's going to be some, the healing process will be in effect, but the family members, those loved ones, will have to get to a certain point to receive them and to be able to bring them in and to be able to help them. It should be, perfection is going to be its own little contagion. Think of it that way, but in a good way, because it's perfection, right? So we get the people who are still alive, we get us up and running, and get us on our way, and then we can start to bring those loved ones that have gone to the grave back. And that process of recovery is going to literally take up all of our time at the very beginning, which is why these technologies have been developed. And in many cases, we're going to find out that they've been redeveloped, which means that they are already in practice, but they have been in a dormant stasis, and so they'll be reignited and brought to us so that we can use them properly, and then again spread that out over throughout the city states of New Jerusalem, so that we can continue to thrive, we can explore, just every manner of goodness, even things that we haven't even thought of can be brought to us. So these individuals are the elect class. That means the Most High God has already chosen them. We don't get to do a ballot. The Holy Spirit has already chosen them and is already operating on them. And one can imagine that, it will be a mix of men and women, black men and black women. One can also imagine probably in the first 3 years, the first 36 months, we'll have a real dichotomy of individuals. On the one side, those people are going to be happy. Let's say half the population is going to be really happy, really relieved. Just thank you, Lord. Oh my goodness. And the other half is going to be pissed. They're going to be mad because there are certain things that they're going to have to give up that they don't want to have to give up, or there's certain things that, with anybody you can get all kinds of complaints. It doesn't matter how wonderful a vacation is. To some people, there's always something to complain about. A lot of the nasty habits that we have all developed will be guided to start to put those away and put on a new habit and take on a new way of doing things. As horrific as America has been to us, we're kind of used to it because we don't know anything else. So to have something diametrically change is although it will be wonderful, it's also going to be an adjustment period for us. But these ones, the earthly class, the earthly phase of a Christ's kingdom, they're going to be the most patient people that you will ever meet. They're going to be the most loving people that you will ever meet. They're going to be kind of stern. They're not going to take crap, but their core, their heart of hearts is to see you win, to see you win. And sisters and brothers, we haven't had any type of government wanting us to win. Not one, not one, sacrificing their time, their ability, and their power, of course, given to them by the Most High to see us win. But this these group of people, which again I'm speculating is going to also be 144,000 of them out of the millions of us that are going to be charged to work with us individually to see us win life in everlasting life, to see us actually explore this universe and to a greater sense go out to these other planets that may have also been harmed. So we have a great and awesome uh, future to look forward to. I'm going to repeat this again, and I could be wrong, but I feel in my spirit that the statement may have been a true statement. We'll wait and see. That I heard again from I had seen online that a white man said that I guess he was in the military, pretty high up in the military, and but not actively in it. But he was told by connections within the current government of the United States that next year is going to look diametrically different than any other previous year and decade that America has been in existence, and that the month seems to be in March, and March is a holy month for many earthly anointed individuals who belong to Christ's kingdom. March is a month that many of them were anointed and given their commissions. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is really the core reason why you have something like NASA and just the denial and the craziness of the denial about Three Eye Atlas, which I think is part of, I believe it is part of the contingency plan for the angels to be working with these individuals that are going to make up the government, Crisis Kingdom Administration. And again, CHRIST, Crisis Kingdom Administrations or administrators. So yeah, so just stay tuned, hang on for a little bit longer. I believe also too that our Heavenly Mother is kind of clothing us in my life. Even as I sit here now, I just feel the spirit of protection and security. And I don't have a dime to my name right now, but I have also experienced where money has just been given to me. So I've just got to trust that, and I will ask for all of you to trust that. I know it's hard for us, but it's nothing that we haven't already experienced. So we've been built for this, all right, and we have something wonderful to look ahead, and they can't stop it. None of our enemies can stop it. It's not in their control, and they don't have that kind of powers. Demons and Satan have been subdued, and that means that not that they've been executed, but that their power has been restrained. They can't help the human beings that are trying to keep this charade of America going. All right, thank you. Take care. Bye. Stay tuned for part 3.